Hey guys, it's Josh from Off the Couch Training, and tonight I'm going to do a weekly review over what has been going on with 6 weeks to Super. So this week I have followed my training plan, which I will provide a link to where you can actually. I'll provide a link in the description section where you can download a copy of the training plan if you're interested and follow along. But this week has basically been the normal Monday cardio. Monday is eccentric strength training. Tuesday is eccentric cardio. Wednesday is a rest day and kind of a muscle relief day where I use like lacrosse balls and foam rollers to kind of roll out my muscles. Thursday is another eccentric strength training condition session where I do a different set. I call it eccentric B. And then Friday was an eccentric cardio session. I refer to this one as B now instead of going. And it's the exact same workout as eccentric cardio A, except I'm going in reverse on my elliptical as opposed to going forward. It works different leg muscles and it is definitely harder to do, especially when you haven't worked those muscles like that in a long time. And then today was some HIIT training, but not just any HIIT training, it was hill training. So what that means is when I say HIIT training, I'm referring to small intervals of super intense training followed by a brief recovery session, then another several sessions of full-blown assault on your muscles. For this particular training session, since it was hill training, since Austin is hilly, I found a stretch that I am aware of in my local park, and I set my time. I wanted to set a timer, but I set up where I was going to do eight sprints. So what I did was I ran full throttle for 25 seconds. So what I would do is I'd find my stretch of hills, and then I'd stretch and kind of warm up before I got to the hills. But then when I get to the hills, I found my starting point, and then I just take off. I take off sprinting, and then I'm sitting there counting 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, all the way up to 25. The first 3 sets of this wasn't bad because, it was bad, but it wasn't totally taxing. But as I progressed to the second half, 5, 6, 7, and 8, it became pretty devastating because the hills are relentless. They are not kind on any part of you at all. So you really feel it. You feel it in here, your legs. Hills are freaking intense. But like I said, it's 25 seconds on and then a minute off, 25 seconds on, minute off. So I did that for 8 reps, and then on my way back to my truck, I did 2 15-second sprints just to finish the day off right. And that pretty much concludes what I've done thus far this week for training. Tomorrow is going to be another rest day. It'll be a light workout where I just do body weight and then stretch and roll my muscles out. Because after taxing them like I did today, then they definitely need it. So that brings me to today's video. And what we're going to be covering is booking the hotel. I had booked my hotel prior to this, like earlier today, just to ensure that I got a hotel. Typically, what I would recommend doing is as soon as you get your Spartan, as soon as you sign up for your Spartan, it's best to start looking at hotels then, or possibly even before you decide to purchase your Spartan tickets, because like I'm going to show you here, the Austin event all the local hotels are sold out. I mean, the closest I was able to get, I'm about 50 minutes away from race day. Ideally, I want to be within 30 minutes so that way I can just wake up and go. But now I get to wake up a little earlier and head out sooner. But it is what it is. So I wanted to show y'all exactly the process to doing that. And then I'm going to follow up with, if there's time, I'm going to follow up with showing you my next step, which is researching the obstacles and researching the previous races at Reveille Park. And Reveille Park is where the Spartan Austin is being held. So with that in mind, let me go over here and share my screen with you guys. All right. All right, so what we have here is, all right, so ideally what I would like to do is I'll go to Google Maps, and then I'll take and plug in the information that we got from signing up on the race day. And if you recall, it was Reveille Peak Ranch. So what I did was I copied and pasted into Google Maps Reveille Peak Ranch, and of course it shows it on the map. So what I do next, just to get an idea of the surrounding area, I just zoom out and I kind of look for surrounding cities. So that way I have an idea if I can't book straight in Burnet, Texas, or close to Reveille Peak Ranch, which you could do. I mean, you've got plenty of options. You can always click nearby, click hotels, and it'll populate those nearby hotels for you. But all these damn hotels are sold out during that stretch of time. So that's why I recommend you look at the outside cities of Burnet and have a fallback plan, which I had to do this time because everything in Burnet was sold out. So I had to go to Expedia and search. Well, delightful how this works. I had to go to Expedia.com and search Austin, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go to Kayak and let's see how this works. So Burnet, I'm sure it's going to be exactly like Expedia was. So you type in your destination, then the date. If you've never done this before, it's real simple. You just follow the instructions. Checkout date is 5/20. It's only going to be me, no guests, unless I can get somebody to join. Just one. Whatever. Let's search all these. And as you see, it will start populating all the hotels from the different sites as my screen constantly fills up with all the other travel sites with the varying prices. I'm just going to close those all off. All I'm concerned about is Kayak. All right, is that everything? Yes. Okay. So if you were to look, I mean, you basically just set your parameters, what you're looking for. I mean, I typically like something with 3 stars. At least that. I don't mind the free internet and free parking. All that's always a great thing. but like I said, you just go through. Typically, what you can do is there is a location field or a destination field, and you can just put in where you want to go. See, I haven't used Kayak in a while, so let me go to Expedia and kind of show you a better idea. Hotels. Austin, see, it's already got all that, blah, blah, blah. It's search. No, see, they've done away with it. There used to be a way that you could search specifically from the destination that you were looking for. But with that in mind, this is where I ended up deciding to stay. I ended up going to the Super 8. I know, so fantastic and everything, but yeah, it's like 30 miles out from Burnett. It ends up being, when I rounded it, it ended up being like 55 minutes, a 55-minute drive to the park. So I mean, that's not too bad. But the point is, you just need to book your hotel early, and you can get it as close as you want. I mean, the easiest thing to do is like I was showing you with Google there. Just type in the destination that you're going to, find surrounding hotels, and book as quickly as you can. I fortunately have Expedia points, so I mean I could have went with a more high-class hotel, but I don't really care because I'm only going to be sleeping in there and eating breakfast, and then I'm gone. So it's just a place to rest. I don't really give a shit about much else there, so that's why I went with Super 8. Plus, it had decent reviews, and like I said, I'm trying to make sure that I have a hotel and I'm not stranded and having to drive 5 hours that morning, which would be just no. It just wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be good for anybody. So with that, that kind of concludes the lovely how this always happens when I'm on here with recording. But yeah, so that concludes the hotel research part of this. It's not difficult. It's pretty simple and straightforward. You find a hotel searching site that you like. I like Expedia. I like Kayak. Kayak, like I said, if you saw it earlier, it populated. You had the option of selecting all those different other sites to search for as well, and it makes things real simple to just compare pricing that way and see availability. So with that, we're going to go on to what my next step would be, or actually what you could be doing as soon as you book your hotel the previous week. I mean, the objective is to get as much research in as possible, so that way you can plan your race, you can plan your preparation. It's fun. You get your research in so that way you know what you're going to face. That way you can plan your training accordingly, and you can focus on the areas that you think you're going to struggle with. So with that, what I recommend you do is you go to YouTube and then you type in your race, as I have done already. Let me show you what I mean. Yeah, so what you would do is you type in, as you can see here, I typed in Spartan Super Austin. And what it's going to do, as you can already see, is it pulls up all the videos with Spartan Super Austin. And what I would do, and what you should do, is you should go through and watch these videos. And I'm not going to sit here and watch this with you, but I can give you an idea of what I do. So basically, I go through the video, and I'm looking at the terrain. I'm monitoring how it looks. I'm looking at the obstacles, making note of the obstacles, because like you saw when when I was showing you the event page, it gives you the list of the amount of obstacles that you face. So, and if you kind of go through and watch these videos and just make a little checklist of how many obstacles you see, you have a really good idea of what you're possibly going to be facing on race day, and it gives you the groundwork for what you can prepare for. Like if you see something like wall climbs, like you see right here in this little thumbnail, then you should prepare yourself for climbing over walls, which you're going to face in every obstacle race that you face. You're going to face the wall climb. It's honestly, it's a given. And then as you can see from this little image here, hopefully you can see it, but let's maybe blow this up so that way it's a little bigger. But yeah, so you just go through the videos, go through as many videos as you can, set yourself for like a 30-minute timer, and then just start watching these videos. Some of them are better than others. Watch them on, just go in there and change the speed. Watch them that way. As you can see, this is what I'll do. Oh yeah, I remember him. He's got on the fancy shorts. But yeah, so you watch the videos, you look at the terrain, you make a list of the obstacles, kind of see what looks challenging to you. See, that'd be like 2 obstacles already. Just there's the 3rd obstacle. You make a list of these. See things that look different, you write them down, and you say, I'm going to need to focus on this. I don't know how to attack this. Research, basically, is what you're doing. And yeah, that's that's what I do. So I'm hoping that you could actually see what I just did there instead of me just staring at the screen watching that video. But yeah, so that's gonna wrap up the video on the week 1 recap, to give you some checks, to give you something to work on. Let's see here. So by now you should have your race. You should have booked your. You should have. My God. By now you should have booked your race. At least started researching your hotel. Preferably booked your hotel within a day or 2 of booking the race. Started studying the terrain and the surrounding areas, so you have an idea of what to expect. And start watching some videos of the previous races. And then we'll go into watching the more recent races that have occurred so far throughout the year, to kind of give you a more accurate feel of what what kind of obstacles you should be expecting, because they change these from race to race and year to year. They add different obstacles, but in reality, a lot of the obstacles are similar. It's just they've changed them, just slight variations on them. So, for instance, there's a wall climb that you typically do. It used to be just a straightforward wall climb where you're just going across the thing, kind of like you would those vertical walls that you see all the time that people train on, like mountain climbers. It was like that, but it was just a horizontal wall. You'd just go all the way across it and then ring the bell. Then the following year, they changed it to where it was like a Z. So you walk around one side of it, then it would angle on you, and then you walk around it on another angle. It'd make a Z. And now they've got it to where it's still the horizontal wall, but they've got holes in it. They've got chains on it, and you can't. It's at an angle. It's at a real steep angle, and you've got to stay on top of that. And you can't touch the top of the board. You can't let your feet touch the ground, and basically you're trying to get yourself to go ring the bell. So I mean, it's things like that. They change up the obstacles. They just do them a little bit. So and that's what we're going to be looking at on the next video and the next weekly recap. So I'll see you guys then, and have a good night and take care.